Welcome back to Hazzbro Hide. Just another follow-up on our Annealeez shields that we put on here. And we do a little bit of thermal testing tonight. So we're going to use a Flir thermal camera and see what we can see about imaging. So I'll catch a few as we run. I'll try to catch the wheels, try to catch some brass down as it falls, and then maybe we'll catch one piece of brass if we can, and check it as soon as it comes off the wheel and see how hot it really is. Emissivity plays a lot to do with this, so you can get some false readings. These wheels are fairly rough, so I think they'll read okay. And I've left the brass slightly dirty here on some fired rounds. It should help keep down that emissivity, and we'll get a bit more of a true reading. So anyway, let me get this set up, and we'll check it out. All right, just fired it up. We have 4 pieces in the pan now. Got our torch centered up pretty well, and our 223 cases are annealing. So let's take an initial view of our temperature here of those wheels. It still should be pretty cool, but we'll take a look here together and take a look at it. Open the shutter, that'll help. Okay, so we can sort of see then our torch temperatures and our wheel temperatures. We'll try to get a few different pictures, and I'll throw them in here as well as we go along. That gives you a good view, if you watch this live, a really good view of the plume coming off that torch and where that heat goes. And it's going a lot farther than just say, well, you just direct the torch away from the wheels and you'll be okay. That's just simply not the case. You can see convection going off up this way into the air. And of course you see the flame, but the flame is really short. It stops right at the case. That's the thermal plume getting blown by with the velocity of the air coming off that torch. So pretty interesting view. Hopefully you guys can all see that pretty well. And again, I'll take a few pictures and we'll take a look at these temperatures as we go along. I'll probably have to adjust the emissivity values because it's showing like 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that's simply not going to be quite the case. So I'll work on that. But I thought you might like to see those pictures then as it goes along. So now we'll try to take a picture without getting too close to our heat down in there, and you get the idea that brass is really starting to heat up. And their pan gets pretty hot when you see that, but you can get the idea of the ones just dropping there. They're still, 250, 300 or more. I'm going to get away from this thing a little bit and give you a top view. You see the plume coming up really clearly when you see these pictures I'll put on the screen. There's a lot of heat there. There's one of the pictures looking down on it. Well, it just went by it. Let me go back to it. You see the brass there, nice and cool. And the shield is taking the heat, deflecting it away. And just behind the shield, you see that blue? That's the wheel. So we are successfully deflecting most of that heat away. A little bit catches the edge of the wheel, but the plastic, I should say, but it's pretty much deflecting it all away. There's always going to be some where the brass touches that it conducts as it rotates around. But and that's why the bottom wheel will be the hottest of all of them. We can also see then that the shields or the sides of the bin on the top get pretty warm down to that flame as well. Not going to hurt them, but they do get warm. I caught one sort of right as soon as it dropped into the flame, and it was up to 536 degrees really, really fast. I think that's interesting. All right, as soon as this gets to the end, what I'm going to do is shut the torch off, and we'll take a picture of just the wheels. We'll stop them and see what we can get there without the flame being in the way. So, but that will have given us a little more than 100 cases here, I think, something in that range. So that's pretty significant, as much as a lot of people run. I've run it all the way to the top full of 223, filled it up again and run it again. So 2 full hoppers, and it's over, I think, 500 rounds when you do that with 223. Or 5.56, and with the shields I had no problem. Without shields, of course, I was melting the wheels. Metals can be kind of tricky to pick up with infrared cameras. I don't know how well, I'm just trying to see. You see that there. It'll flash kind of greater than 536, which is where it's set to its max scale on this particular unit right now. Okay, down to our last one here. It's 480 when it hit or something in that range. All right, let's see what our wheels are. 166, 167 after that long run. So that's below our nylon melting point, quite a bit below it. I'll look that up and I'll post that in here, but it should be somewhere around 160 C will be the Vicat softening point, something like that. So that's well north of, well, close to 300 degrees anyway. I'll do the conversion. But you see there then, it's pretty cool. There's some hot spots, but overall not too bad. So anyway, I thought you might like to see that. That's with the wheels and the shields on there. That's all the brass I had prepped, so I won't do it without them because you'll just simply see the plastic would keep gaining temperature above what you see in that wheel temperature on the outside. And it just keeps, the plastic holds its heat so well. That's the thing with it. It really, once it gets hot, holds its heat. And so when you add more, it can't cool very fast. So anyway, I hope you like this. Just kind of a little bit of fun using a thermal camera.